Watch for Suazo, striker who's been eyed by a few Premiership scouts here. Whether they think he's the kind of player who could come off in England's top flight is another matter. But he had another good game, I thought, against Brazil as well. Might easily have scored against them. The Brazilians a little flattered by the 3-0 win they had over Chile. Sanjuez has taken over the captaincy tonight for the Chileans. And that fellow I was telling you about, Blanco, has been given the captaincy for Mexico here. Warren Barton's with me tonight. I suppose the conspiracy theorists, the boys have been talking about it in the studio, would say these two sides will have a nice little carve up, get a point apiece. Mexico will top the group, Chile will go through, and Bob's your uncle.
You'd hope not, Ian, because we want people to come out here and express themselves. There's a lot of young players as well looking to catch the eye. So you'd like to think it will be an open game, but you know, the most important thing when a manager starts a tournament is to get into the next round, and you know, all being well, if it is a draw, both teams do qualify.
Splendid setting here. The now ritualistic pre-match huddle practiced by, seems, every sports team in the world. What do they talk about, do you think? Is it some kind of bonding exercise? I'm sure they must have worked out everything they're going to do beforehand anyway.
I think it's more of a focus, and normally the captain will take charge of it and just get the players together, get them focused, and then obviously prepare for the game ahead. I don't suppose they're talking about what they're going to do out on a night out or anything, but it's more just to be focused, get together, and then obviously get on with the job. But also I think it's something for the fans to enjoy. They like the huddle. It's a big atmosphere here, lots of Mexicans fans everywhere, so you know, as I said, they get focused and get prepared for the job ahead.
Got a sight there of young Guardado, the 20-year-old who's been brought in to the side. He's a pacey left-sided player, winning his 21st cap already, wearing the number 18 shirt. And it's one of the few players who have been retained. The goalkeeper for Chile tonight, Claudio Bravo. Getting towards the business end now of the Copa America. And I do agree with the guys in the studio. These final matches should be synchronized, really. Somebody connected with the South American Federation will explain why, I'm sure, in due course.
Well, I think, like you said, I think everybody knows that they all should be played together, whether it's for TV rights.
Quite a sight, isn't it? Rather reminiscent of the Newlands cricket ground, that in Cape Town. Sun setting, almost perfect conditions, and referee Carlos Amarillo getting us underway. Chile, who started the tournament very well with a 3-2 win against Ecuador. They came from behind to get the 3 points there. That's why they still have a chance of reaching the quarterfinals. The Mexicans, maximum points so far. They tend to go well in this Copa America since they were first introduced to the tournament as guests in 1993.
I think rightly so as well. There's a lot of quality in their team. A lot of them, as we've said, have come from home-based clubs, playing their football together, good understanding. That stands you in good stead when you go to a tournament.
By the way, Correa playing in the centre of the midfield for Mexico. He is one of those who has been retained, and a nasty knock straight away there for the Mexican number 14, Gonzalo Pineda. Saving a lot of their players, though, for the last 8. You can't blame them, really, can you?
No, as I said, the manager, Sanchez, is probably, and here we have the first yellow card. Tackle from behind. I think when a defender's going to learn, you can't win the ball, and as soon as you go to ground, you're running a risk. And there, the referee straight away showing no nonsense, and you end up in the notebook.
And he's only got 89 minutes to avoid another one.
They might have to take him off.
The referees have come in for a fair bit of stick in this tournament. Just reading some of the postings on various websites in the lead up to this game.
Well, again, it's more the common sense factor that we're looking at. You know, you want the players to be out there. They've got to take some responsibility, but at the end of the day, the referees go out there, and I think sometimes their mind's already set to get out the cards and brand them around. You see there's some of the decisions as well for the penalty in one of the games, so it's and the referees do have to have a look at themselves.
taking the place of Rafael Marquez for Mexico. The number 15, Jose Antonio Castro. Is Sanhueza, who just sits in the midfield quite nicely for Chile. They managed to frustrate Brazil for quite a long time the other night. There's Villanueva on the ball, scored a great free kick winner for the Chileans against Ecuador in their first game.
And there's a nice pace about the game as well. A few tackles are going in, the ball's being zipped around. It's got a nice breeze as well, so it's not too hot for the players.
Here's the already booked Fierro.
Good first touch as well there. Ferreira picks the ball out of the sky. Good technical ability that you would associate with the South American players.
Suazo, his first involvement. Apparently on his way to play in Mexico, if all the speculation is to be believed. Plays for Colo-Colo, the current champions in Chile at the moment, and is averaging a goal a game for them in recent times. Villanueva foul.
Yeah, a little bit of spice about the game as well, some tackles.
New goalkeeper with maybe a job to do here, Ochea from Mexico.
He looks young as well, doesn't he? 21 years of age, yeah. So suggest they're going to test him with this ball.
It's only his 8th cap. I'm sure that's the drill as it's swung. It goes a long way. It wasn't too easy, that, for the goalkeeper. It's played in by Tello.
I think what helped him there was the bounce in front. It was a nice, comfortable, just calm him down a little bit. There is a good atmosphere.
Here's Lozano. Almost a completely new team tonight for Mexico. But most of those who've come in have got plenty of caps.
Well, again, like we were saying, there's a lot of experience in this team. You know, they've been together for some time. You know, young players have maybe got a dozen caps as well. So they're not totally inexperienced.
Strange crossfield ball, but it did manage to find Fierro against the odds. Not quite sure what that was.
I don't think he knows either. But they're looking sometimes for the spectacular ball. And I'm sure with Blanco up front as well, the Mexicans are looking for a leadership of him. Lots of experience, as you've said, 90-odd caps, 34 goals as well. So, again, it just shows you the depth that they've got in their squad of players. Maybe a force to reckon with as well.
Again, Pineda goes to the floor. Took that knock very early on. Here's Sanhueza, who's taken the eye as an unfussy holding midfield player in the tournament so far. Down goes Correa. One of the two players, the other one is Magayon at the back, who does retain his place from the other night. None of the others have dropped. They just rested. Castro. Good run down the right-hand side, but the cross not quite so cute.
Yeah, looks a good athlete. Castro down that right-hand side, pushes forward, but again, just a final product, looking to take the people on, but at least there is a bit of zest about the game. The game last night was very pedestrian, but there's a bit of life about this.
Castro has played in the Libertadores Cup, which is the South American equivalent of our Champions League.
As you said, it's a fantastic setting as well, the stadium.
And of course, everybody's happy, aren't they? The locals now, because Venezuela, the host nation, are going to be playing in the quarterfinals.
Dare I say it, that was the plan.
Well, it always helps the tournament, doesn't it? Taking away the cynicism. It does take something away if the host nation go out early. You don't really want that.
No, you want them to keep through. It keeps the enthusiasm of the tournament and the hype as well that goes with it. And at the end of the day, they may have been put in a slightly easier group, but you've still got to go out and win games.
By the way, the team they could play, if things work out, are Chile, because they're up against the second best of the third places. I think Uruguay are going to be the best of the third places, unless, of course, Chile go out and win this. It's not impossible. is Suazo. Chance, real chance, and just nicked away from him.
He dwelled on it too long. He waited for the ball rather than attacking the ball. He looks slightly heavy as well with his build. It's quite solid, so just the movement of his feet wasn't great.
He scored twice in the opening match, Suazo, and went on an amazing solo run around almost the entire Brazilian defence and couldn't quite finish it when those two played. There's Hugo Sanchez, famous figure. You remember his elaborate goal celebrations.
Fantastic player, wasn't he, for Real Madrid? Great goal scoring record. I don't think he could do the flip now, though.
Do you want to bet?
Not with them trousers on, anyway.
You might, you know. He's making a bit of a name for himself as a coach as well. Mexico did reach the CONCACAF Gold Cup just over a week ago. They lost in the final of that to the United States, who haven't fired at all here with their somewhat depleted outfit.
And what he's given the Mexican players is belief. He's got the respect because he was a top player, and like most top players, you get that. But then it's how you deal with the man management side, how you interact with the players. And from what we're hearing, he gets on with the younger players. He gives the older players a bit of experience, some time as well. So, as a management side, international, so far so good. And what a feather in the cap it would be if he won this.
Good possession football this from Chile, looking confident on the ball. Nelson Acosta's side, the veteran coach. Suazo looking to go on a solo run. He wasn't going to get through all of them, that was for certain.
Yeah, just crudely stopped there. Blanco just blocked off the ball.
Just too much lip from the sidelines, but look at it, there we are. The referee very keen to announce himself early on, a booking after a minute, and now Hugo Sanchez told to go away and stop coaching from so near, I guess. Not quite sure what he said or how he stepped out of line.
I think sometimes, like we said with the referees, they try to stamp their authorities on and off the pitch rather than just getting on with the game.
Guardado was dispossessed in there. Here he is again, the youngster now down this left-hand side. Fuentes is there for Chile. He did play the other night as well against the Brazilians, when Chile actually did change a winning side for that game. He's quite proactive, Nelson Acosta. He's not frightened to do that. Whether it is advisable or not is open to debate, I suppose. Guardado.
Looks nice and positive, the left back, doesn't he? When he wants to get on the ball, he's out to impress. That's what you hope as a manager.
Teo with the opposite number 7, Medina, tussling away for the ball on that far side. Saying Mexico have gone well. They reached the final in 2001, losing to Colombia. Mexico. They've also been in a couple of semi-finals as well and never failed to reach the knockout stages of the Copa America.
I think you'd expect that. You know, now they're getting more and more faults in world football. In the World Cups, they've been doing well as well. Although, again, it's not the strongest qualifying group that they have to go through, but they're there.
Chile have been runners-up in the competition on 3 occasions, 1955, 79 and 87. Because this is the post-Marcelo Salas era now for Chile. Remember Salas causing England a lot of problems at Wembley one night.
I always said you got a good memory.
Wasn't that long ago.
That's one of the things we're seeing now at the moment. It has been quite free-flowing, the game so far, but Chile are halting the flow of Mexico. If they do tend to get any rhythm, a leg comes out, an arm goes across, and they just kill the play.
Blanco. I think his 95th cap, as Warren was telling you, over 30 goals for his country. being deployed pretty deep, isn't he, here?
Yeah, well, he's getting a bit frustrated because he can't get on the ball. There's a little nudge there in the back. Referee again spotting the infringement there, but Blanco's looking to get in the ball so he can try and pull the Chilean three centre-halves around, really, rather than standing up there. So it's easy to mark. He's trying to come in the hole and try and get onto the ball using his experience.
Contreras was limping away from that incident. The Chilean defender is one of those who seems to play in every game. He's a kind of Chilean Frank Lampard. I think he just wants to be out there, whatever the occasion.
Yeah, you'd expect changes from Mexico, but for Chile, they can't afford to get beat. So again, they're going to keep some of their more sounder players in there, experienced players, just to make sure that they at least get a point out of this.
Here's Iturra. Asked rather too much. Fierro down that side.
Again, the fullbacks are both willing to get forward, trying to make that extra man in the attack.
Nelson Acosta, the coach who took Chile to the second round of the World Cup in France, where they were knocked out by Brazil. If the Mexicans do win this group, they only need a point to do it tonight. They play the second team in Group C. At the moment, the second team in Group C are Argentina, but of course if they beat Paraguay tomorrow, they'll top the group. The Argentinians are in the lovely position of looking at the whole thing, playing last in the group stage, almost working out who they might fancy playing.
That's right, and they're the favourites as well, Argentina, with a squad of players that they've got, the quality. So they can afford to pick and choose who they want to play. Well, I'm telling you, a lot of teams will want to keep away from Mexico. They're still full-strength squad of players, but for me, Argentina are the ones that everybody has to beat.
Yeah, they've got a fabulous squad on view here, and they're rattling in the goals every game, aren't they?
And it's more the squad of players it's got. It's not just the starting 11. When you look at Brazil, you say, well, they're a match for anybody with a starting 11, but it's the depth that they have. And Chavez was coming off the bench in the recent game as well, so that just shows you the quality that they've got in depth.
We already know 6 of the qualifiers for the last 8. Venezuela the host, Peru, Uruguay, Mexico here, Paraguay and Argentina. 2 other places to be filled. Chile hoping to fill one of them, though in theory they could be picked by the winner of the USA-Colombia game tomorrow. In theory, anyway. Here's Pineda. Guardado was dispossessed. Lorca now for Chile. He's usually come on as a substitute so far, in from the start tonight. Blanco's chip forward.
Good goalkeeping there. Bravo, nice and positive. But they are trying to look for that diagonal ball just over the top. For me, it's got to be a bit more precise. Try and get it into people's feet, and then you can work off of it.
Quarter of an hour gone here, no goals between Chile and Mexico. Mexico have won all three previous Copa America meetings against Chile, twice in 1999, once in 2001. Iturra back to Villanueva. There's no Valdivia in there tonight, the electric little player who likes to play in the hole, the skipper for Chile. A bit more of an upbeat feel about Chilean football of late. They didn't make it to the World Cup final, so they'll have hopes of doing rather better, I think, when the South American World Cup qualifiers start in the autumn. Top 4 go through, 5th place team.
It's such a difficult group, like you've said, when we've seen the quality so far that you have, that you're playing against, and you know, it always looks the way that Brazil, Argentina, then it's 2 from probably 6 that have to pick it out between them.
Suazo goes to ground. I don't think the Mexicans are too amused. They thought he made rather a lot of that.
Well, again, he just buys the free kick, doesn't he? Suazo puts his body in. but he's a size, he's a presence.
Now here's a chance for Chile to maybe snatch something. Got a left footer to hit this in with pace if the delivery is right, and oh, it nearly found its way in as well from Teo.
Good goalkeeping in the end, because not only just to get a hand on it, but to push it away.
Really good effort. Good reactions, as you said, Warren, from the keeper to just about smuggle it away.
It was clever play both round. He was looking to whip it in and try to do the goalkeeper with the eyes.
Suazo's ball in was a little sloppy that time. Lozano in as the left back tonight, with Guardado playing just ahead of him. Fierro. Mexico, by the way, have got the best disciplinary record in the tournament. One booking to Neri Castillo, which is why he is not in the side tonight, one suspects, so that he doesn't get another one and get banned. All yellow cards after this group stage are wiped out. There's an amnesty. Guardado. Now Pineda. Experienced 34-year-old Blanco on the ball now. Just a lot of internationals. In fact, missed 7 of 6. I think he played, rather, 7 of 69. Here's this effort from Teo.
As I said, it's good goalkeeping as well. For me, it hasn't crossed the line. But not only just to get an arm to it, but to push it away as well. Good agility to get down.
It was just about the last possible second he could have got to that, wasn't it?
Well, again, he's obviously adjusting himself, thinking that the ball's coming over, and it was clever play, but he's able to get down, put a strong arm and push it away.
Contreras out to Fuentes. Lozano. Blanco rather easily hustled off the ball by Sanhuesa. Teo, who nearly opened the scoring for Chile, who are keeping the ball quite nicely without looking too threatening. But you could say the same against Mexico as well, I reckon.
Yeah, they're nice and precise, but sometimes they're just playing in front of you. That's when you need a runner, whether it's a fullback or midfield player, just to open the game up a little bit. But it is nice, it's controlled, nice, neat passing, but no real punch to the game.
And that obviously is because both of these sides know that a draw suits them just fine. It is one of the perils, really, of group football when you get to the final games. It can't be helped, I guess.
We just hope, Ian, that the people that organise the tournament can see this.
Teo plays for Beşiktaş in Turkey. Suazo just sat up there for a moment for him. I thought we were going to see a sweet volley, but we didn't.
No, Suazo just trying to steady himself. Did set up nicely for him, and Suazo just got underneath the ball. Got to get your body over the ball, at least get it on target. Not really under any pressure. Like I said, Ian, just going back to where, you know, the games now should be all played at the same time. You know, whether it is for TV or whatever it may be. It just, people have paid good money to come and watch teams, and if you know straight away from as soon as the whistle's kicked, it's going to be a draw, it's going to be a fair result for both teams. It just takes the shine off the game.
Well, the Copa America, as far as I can ascertain, is the only tournament in the world where it doesn't happen, the only major one.
Well, let's hope next time round it's been changed. Because you're not saying, you know, you don't want to put any doubt onto the players and point any fingers, but if you are going into a situation when you know that You don't need to get beat. They're not going to get beat. It just puts you into a position where you can just, if you like, stroll through a game. And that's not healthy.
Having said that, if there was a truce, nobody told Teo about it because he nearly scored just now. Here's Guardado.
It's positive on that left-hand side. Guardado pushing forward.
Jared Borghetti, the man we saw at Bolton Wanderers. Mexico, their great goal scorer, is not fit for this tournament. Bit of catching practice, really, for the goalkeeper there.
In general, the goalkeepers have done okay in this tournament as well. And we always say they like to punch the ball away, but their handling's been pretty good.
Here's Iturra. By the way, for Chile, talking about the bookings, Villanueva, Suazo of those starting like Contreras, if they are yellow carded here, they would miss the quarter-final. So there's some risk attached to playing them, but you see Chile now, they might not be in the quarter-finals exactly. If they don't.
There's a calculated risk. You've got to keep your better players. If it so happens that they do have to pick a booking, it's unfortunately it's one of them situations. And like you said, Mexico, who've got a great record with discipline, only one person on a booking, they can afford to change as and when they like to give a bit of experience to some players.
Sanhueza is switched on by Lorca towards Suazo. Chile look as if they mean a little bit of business. They'd love the insurance of getting a goal in front. Brazil in action later. Do stay with us for that in this group. Mexico do slip up. Brazil could still top the group. Mind you, if things went wrong, they could also finish bottom of this group tonight. Now, wouldn't that be a sensation?
We were saying about the home nation going through to keep it alive, and also you want Brazil. You want the better team to go through as well.
Lozano's ball in, and the flicked header straight into the arms of the goalkeeper in the end.
He just guided it. Couldn't get any real power. He just tried to guide it into a situation, but that's never going to test the goalkeeper. Bravo is very comfortable in the end. Blanco couldn't get any real power or direction, just guided it into the middle of the goal.
Teo. Suazo. He's got a character, doesn't he? It was fizzing and dipping. Well fielded by the goalkeeper. He's going to feel a lot better after that really excellent save he made, Ochoa.
Yeah, the young goalkeeper Mexican is pretty sound. He looks slightly nervous. His body language now has been good.
It was missed by Blanco at the key moment there. That's why that attack broke down. Iturra trying to set things up here for Chile. Lorca is on the chase and goes down. Wants a free kick for it. Isn't going to get one.
Not surprised either. I don't think there was any contact whatsoever. It's there, he goes down. He got the final touch, so it ended up being a Mexican ball. But the game is stretched. It's disappointing when you get to the final third. There's not too much penetration, but plenty of room in midfield for people to get on the ball.
It's the somewhat volatile character Blanco again. He was once banned after a brawl in the Libertadores Cup. The left-footed shot is well wide in the end from Pineda.
There's again that space in midfield, utilising it, pushing forward. Again, the shot on target was 2 or 3 metres past the post. You want him to get it on target.
Never scored for Mexico yet, Pineda, and this is his 39th cap tonight. Plays for Guadalajara, and there's a name that rings down through the ages for England fans from 1970 and all that. One of the big clubs in Mexican football. It's a country of 116 million people, Mexico. That's about 100 million more than Chile, the thin little country which runs down the southwest corner of South America. Into the middle, hoping Lorca can make something of it. He tried to nod it down for Suazo. The idea was good, but it was never quite going to work.
But nice and solid Chile, though, didn't they? Two holding midfield players. Like two little dogs in midfield, just break everything up, just keep it moving around. I think if Mexico are going to have success, it's got to be on the flanks, on the wide areas.
Mateo thought that was handball, and he might have had a point there. Referee says no, and Medina can break for Mexico. I mean, to be fair to the players here, we've been talking about a draw being convenient, but I think both sides are playing this honestly enough.
I think you're right. I think the players will do. They will go out and play. You just think maybe as the game gets into the later stages, will they just save their energy? As I said, it's been played at a good pace. It's just in that final third, Ian, where there's maybe a little bit of quality or just willing to take the chance. Rather than checking back and starting again, are they going to be positive enough to take someone on?
Iturra. Lorca was carefully policed by the Mexican defence. So Omar Bravo, we haven't seen too much of, chasing the ball there. Not had a lot of service, the man who's come in as a substitute striker tonight. Another Guadalajara player. Looks like your local bank manager, doesn't he? Nelson Acosta.
He also looks like he won't give you a loan as well. Typical bank manager.
Might get a loan if they get their point tonight. Told the South American money markets are notoriously volcanic. It's Contreras. Fierro. No further problems for him after his early booking. Not yet, anyway.
Just has to be careful as well, just knocking the ball away. Just a little nudge in the back. He does like to get forward anyway.
And the Mexicans again nearly always feature at the World Cup finals. They have to come through the, well, how can I put it, relatively soft CONCACAF qualifying process, which is handy. Blanco. Can Chile break quickly? They couldn't. It was a bit careless, really, from Lorca. Don't forget, coming up later on tonight, Brazil in action against Ecuador. Ecuador, who are in trouble at the bottom of this group. Brazil, who got their first win, having been beaten by Mexico in their first game, rather surprisingly, by 2-0. Villanueva playing that one in.
And I think for Mexico, that's what gave them a great foundation to go and beat Brazil. The scoreline 2-0 was really given the belief to drive on.
Fuentes is the player who goes down for Chile. Guardado with a rather wry smile on his face, believing it was, well, in some way owed to amateur dramatics.
I think he's got a fair point as well. They do go down. I think Chile will be delighted, really. The back three have been nice and solid. Midfield have been neat and tidy. OK, not created too much, but they would expect probably Mexico, with a lot of changes for players to express themselves, to put them under a little bit of pressure. But particularly the front two, Bravo and Banco, have not really caused them any problems whatsoever. It's been nice and comfortable.
Villanueva. Watch him if Chile get a free kick somewhere around the edge of the box. Seen some good goals in this tournament, and there have been plenty of goals too. Refreshingly.
Yeah, as you say, when you normally go into major tournaments.
Villanueva. Oh, he just couldn't take it on and finish. All the work had been done. It was set up beautifully for Villanueva. What a disappointment that was for Chile.
That's right, he done well to get there. He's got to take the ball forward rather than his touch wasn't good enough here. Take it into your stride, take it here. His foot just gets caught on the ball, and there's his chance gone.
I've had a couple like that. That one earlier on for Suazo as well. Chile asking most of the questions, it has to be said.
They're right. They're the ones that are probing. They're the ones that are taking their chance. They're not in their nature to probably sit back and hold on to what they've got. They want to try and express themselves. Because they know they need a point. 3 would be great.
Castro likes to come forward from the back out to Alberto Medina as well. Good bit of play from him. Couldn't quite find Bravo, as waiting and lurking with intent. Castro again hits the byline.
Just can't get his foot around it. Castro's twice now he's trying to make penetration runs on that right hand side, but just eased out of it there by the captain. Right, it is Chile are the ones that are looking to get forward, whether it's a diagonal with a knockback, someone to go through.
Crowd very involved in proceedings, regardless of the goalless scoreline.
Again, minimal contact. If anything, he loses his footing, they go down. But no, the crowd have made it as well. They're the ones that want to get involved.
Terrible free kick, straight to Suazo. And Chile are going to get a free kick for Correa's challenge there.
Apologies, we've lost pictures, as you can see, from Venezuela momentarily. 0-0 still. Mexico and Chile. We'll get back to it as soon as we can. Chile, of the two sides, gents, look the more intent on getting something out of this, but they have to. They need a point to guarantee qualification.
I think we mentioned that before the game. We felt Chile had to go in and be a little bit more offensive. They needed a point, and they have been. You know, they've played some good stuff, and they've made 2 or 3 good openings, and they should be ahead.
They'll be kicking themselves if they're not, won't they? One particular chance, 18 minutes in, Rodrigo Tello off the line. It could have been very different.
Yeah, he caught the keeper napping. In the end, the keeper's done marvellous, actually. But he's whipped it in that near post, trying to catch him out, sort of thrown the eyes a little bit. Look at that, he's intent to do that, and it's a great save. The keeper tries to catch that, he takes that over the line, but he's just managed to just palm it out, and good choice at the end. But Chile are the ones that are trying to force the game.
Best chance of the half so far. Mexico on the offence by the looks of things. Let's return to our commentary team. Mexico against Chile, 0-0. Back to Warren Barton and Ian Dark.
Thank you, fellas. Thank you for filling in. You'll be very relieved to know there were no goals while you're away, and normal services resumed. Apologies for the gremlins between South America and London. 9 minutes to the break, and an injury here to the Chilean goalkeeper, Claudio Bravo.
Yeah, I think it's as he's landed. Again, he's come out and claimed the ball very well. Bravo, but just awkwardly, maybe his shoulder, his back.
Worrying sight this for Chris Coleman, the new manager of Real Sociedad. This is goalkeeper on the floor.
It would be a manager. Chris has gone back out there, but good luck to him as well. But just shows you now you've got players all over the world you're having to look after and see how they're getting on.
Yes, an interesting appointment. Real Sociedad have been relegated from La Liga. They're playing in the second tier in Spain next season. I wonder if Chris Coleman can take them back up to the top flight. That'd be something, wouldn't it?
It'd be a great achievement as well. It's obviously difficult, different language, different club, culture, etc. I'm sure Chris adapts himself with his staff in his own style, and he'll get on with it.
His goalkeeper's okay again anyway. If indeed Claudio Bravo remains first choice, of course, under the new boss. Here's Lorca, policed by Magayon, who is first choice centre back. Number 2 there.
The Chilean strikers are a bit more mobile than the Mexicans. In Mexico, it's very precise, has to go into feet, but the strikers of Chile are willing to work the channels. He's feeling the heat as well. Sanchez took his coat off, but these strikers need to be a bit more adventurous. I mean, Mexico in the final third. As well, and they do get fouled as well. They grab the ball straight away to let the referee know you can't play advantage. If anything, it'll end up being handball.
Here's Lozano for Mexico. Oh dear. Breakdown in communications. It's Chile who've had the opportunities here. The Mexicans have been quiet and largely content to hold on to what they started with.
They're playing within themselves, Mexico. They're not willing to make that extra run, that extra yard. They're quite content just to sit tight. You look at Chile, at least they're looking to express themselves. Unforced error there. Trying to be too clever at the back and see what he could do with his left foot.
Comfortably handled the corner kick. Sanhuesa. Looked like the ball went out of play over on that far side. I think it did. By, well, the best part of a yard, in fact.
A desperate lunge in the end.
Yes, you don't need Hawkeye to sort that one out, do you? Here's Lozano for the Mexicans, who at the moment are playing like the opposition penalty area has been landmined or something. Rodriguez. Oh, Guardado, no real impact from him on the left-hand side so far.
Yeah, he's looked busy, but no real penetration, lots of endeavour.
Magayon. Blanco now to Medina. And the Mexicans construct something. Just lacking that little bit of extra something that Nery Castillo has been giving them so far in forward areas, perhaps.
Well, they need a bit of quality, but also that bit of desire to get forward. You know, as I said, the two strikers are not very mobile, so now you're looking for maybe a full-back or midfield player to make that extra man, make that penetrating run.
Nice position for Mexico to be in, isn't it? To rest 9 players on the bench.
You know, they've done a lot of their hard work, and as a manager or a coach, you go into the tournament wanting to be top of the group and wanting to qualify, and they've done that. for their performances. That it allows them now to rest people, give people an opportunity to get a feel of the tournament, get a feel of the game. But for viewers, it's not particularly flattering.
Oh, just fizzed wide of the post. Sanhuesa. It's good stuff, that, from Chile. The side showing the offensive intent here.
As well as they got caught napping as well. Mexico gets it out of his feet, but just pulling it wide as well with his right foot, always dragging it away from the far post. But as a striker, you're told to go across goal in case the goalkeeper sticks out an arm, but he was comfortable in the end just to let the ball go wide.
It was Itura's effort in the end.
And also, they've done it quick. It wasn't very slow. They got the ball down, they took a quick free kick and just caught him napping.
Suazo. Put it into Lorca, and the lanky Rodriguez is there to get it away. Not very far. Mexicans a little bit sloppy. Chile playing with a little extra tempo here and looking quite businesslike. Suazo. Itura again. Fierro and Itura once more. Needed to pull it across the goal, you felt, or go for the far corner. It was a disappointing finish.
Good movement now, good patient build-up. Again, it's that midfield runner getting forward, but now go across the goal. Be unselfish, go across, make the goalkeeper make a save, and then maybe your striker, Suazo, will tap it in at the far post, but they got caught ball watching a little bit there. Mexico.
Itura did get the winner when Chile played the Republic of Ireland in Dublin.
He's done a great move, good penetrating run, but then go across the shot with a shot of goal, go across the goalkeeper.
Guardado. Has to be careful, doesn't he? Fierro already on a yellow card, but I don't think there was anything too untoward there.
There's no doubt that Chile will be the more content team. I think Mexico will have slight doubts in their mind. So they've rode their luck a little bit, particularly in the last 6-7 moments of the game. So I know as a player, if you're waiting for a draw, it's best to be winning 1-0 if you can hold on to a draw at the end. But you want that goal, you want that little cushion as well. That you've got to realise that Mexico then have got to come forward.
Blanco. Blanco again. The build-up tending to be on the slow side, though, from Mexico so far. Just a minute of added time, we learn. Medina. Teo with the challenge. He's had a bright game so far, the left back, one way and another.
Yeah, very industrious as well. Had the clever free kick. He's always looked nice and positive going forward. The manager don't look too happy.
He rarely does, to be honest with you, Warren. In stoppage time now. Not a scoreline which will disappoint either side, though Chile may feel they've done enough here to nudge ahead, and they might still do that. Here's Suazo. Itura was looking to break onto things. Because the more they push forward, the more they just might be caught by a sucker punch by the Mexicans, which will always be at the back of their minds. And that's just about it. Because Guardado is involved in the incident with Fierro. He goes down clutching his face. Not sure there was much contact with his face. Anyway, they can discuss all that at half-time. Chileans involved in a little discussion. Has the referee blown here for half-time? He's not making it exactly clear. I think he has. Yeah, everyone's off for half-time now. No goals in that first half, but a good performance from Chile, who've deserved to be ahead. In truth, they're not. At half-time here, Mexico 0, Chile 0.
And that would suit them both very nicely. That would make Mexico the winners and would put Chile through. Conspiracy theorists will have a field day with that. Glenn Hoddle and Gary McAllister will give us their opinions in just a moment. No goals at half-time. Chile want the point. They need it more than Mexico do. They're the better side in the first half. We'll break it down for you in a few moments.
It's title. Two smooth Jason Booth
He's got some future.
faces Ian Napper
That's excellent from Napper.
for the British Bantamweight title with SkyPoker.com Friday at 10, Sky Sports 2.
I tell you what, that Colin's a laugh. He's just had 2 kebabs. What's the matter?
I lost the folder. All the photographs, all the old film with the kids on it, everything from when they were babies.
Well, why don't we make another one?
Yeah, we'll just make another folder. It's all backed up.
Only BT Total Broadband comes with 6 months free Digital Vault, which automatically backs up your PC's precious files and photos. To get a more complete broadband package, call 0800 317 316.
Everyone knows a bloke like Mickey. To Mickey, hair isn't just hair. It's a weapon to be used to devastating effect. Mickey hates flakes. Of course, he's got a look for every occasion. There's the fluffy puppy, windswept and interesting. The intellectual, plain gorgeous. And his personal favourite, morning hair. Like Mickey, blokes you know voted Head & Shoulders #1 in FHM's Readers' Poll.
Of all the time you spend travelling, it's the free rides you enjoy the most. That's BMI time.
Let the power of nature into your home. Switch to Go Green, the greener energy package from PowerGen. Call now on 0800 450 888.
Hey! Fancy a circuit board X2000?
I think I'll have one of those C2 circuit boards. That's right. Half the strength, tastes great, and I like it. He's not wrong.
C2 circuit boards, also available as lager.
These men are all scholars. And The School of Hard Knocks. Sponsored by Stan James, as Super League double starts with St Helens v Leeds Friday 7:30, Sky Sports 3 and HD2.
Go on. Go on. Scotch you, it's there.
Another corner. Sky Bet. It matters more when there's money on it.
Plenty of action to choose from on Sky Sports. Coming up tomorrow, golf, European Open action, 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Sky Sports 1 for that. The Las Vegas Classic continues. Darts action is at 7 on Sky Sports 1. And there's 2020 Cup cricket, Surrey against Sussex, 5:30. Sky Sports 2 available on HD2 as well. Even more of a choice later on. Golf, the US Senior Open is at 7 on Sky Sports 3. And there's National Rugby League. It's Dewsbury against Widnes, 7:30. Sky Sports Extra. Brazil, the champions of the Copa America, come later against Ecuador. First, it's Mexico against Chile, 0-0 at half-time. Glenn Hoddle and Gary McAllister with us. Chile need the point, don't they, to qualify? Mexico are already through. Are we seeing that in terms of the performance? A more hungry side, Chile?
Very much so. I think Chile have shown far more intent to go out there and win the game. They've been very positive the way they've been pressing. For any time Mexico back four have had the ball, they've really pressed up quite high in the pitch, looked to win the ball back early, but they've had the better of the possession, and they've had the opportunities, if you like, or the half chances to have actually taken the lead. But much more positive than Mexico. I've been very disappointed with Mexico tonight. A few youngsters been thrown in there, and you'd think they'd be chomping on the bit to show Sanchez exactly what they're all about, and maybe get themselves into the first starting 11, but they haven't shown any intent at all, so it's been a bit disappointing from Mexico, but Chile have come closer to scoring, that's for sure. Came very, very close in the 18th minute in particular, Gary. Rodrigo Tello, had it not been for a very good save, Chile would be ahead.
Well, he's been impressive in the first half. You know, he's a left back. He's joined in. He's pushed himself right up the pitch. But here he finds himself in an outside right position, and it's a great disguise here. You know, he's looking as if he's going to whip it into the centre of the goal. But
how good a save is that?
It's a great save. We've got to make that point very strongly, because if the keeper tries to save that or catch it, I think he would have took the ball into the net. But it was great to just claw it away. Fortunate it didn't land to a Chilean player, but a great save.
Glenn Villanueva was put through just after the half-hour mark. It was Suazo that put him in.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get hold of the ball. What has he done wrong here? Because it was a golden opportunity.
It's a great ball from Suazo as he gets possession. Like, he brings it down, and it's a first-time ball in there. Now he's got to take that on his right side, away from the defender. Instead of that, he's a left-footed player, and he wants to go on his favourite foot. And that's what happens sometimes when you're a one-footed player, predominantly. If he lets that run across his body and he has to take a chance there on his swinger, on his right side, I think he scores there. But it's a strange thing that you know, it's just an instinct that you want to go to your favoured foot. But then the defender's that side, and it's giving him a chance. I don't think the pitch helps. It's a bit fluffy, the pitch as well. It just got caught up a little bit as well. But it was probably the best chance of the game in a situation where they've got themselves right in behind the two centre halves. And, you know, he didn't. That's the sort of level, that international level, they're the chances you've got to take.
There were a couple of cracking chances towards the end of the half. They had joy down the right-hand side. Manuel Iturra that got some space and almost made the most of it, Gary.
Yeah, this is a great effort. You know, he just takes a chance here, going across the keeper. You know, hits it nice and early, great strike. Oh, and it's worth the pop there.
You'd be happy, would you, if you were Nelson Acosta at half-time, the Chilean coach?
Well, yes, without the goal. I mean, this is a great run from Iturra. This is a blindside run, tracked well by the Mexican full team, Penenza, but he's got to go across the goal, I think they said in commentary. But it's a great run off the ball. We haven't seen too many midfield players with runs like that. Well tracked as well, defended quite, just done enough to put him off. But if he goes across the goal, you know, maybe it comes off the keeper's hands and someone gets a tap in. But again, you know, just the clips that we're showing, it's all Chile, isn't it? You know, we haven't really got that much to show about Mexico because they haven't had anything
I think their Glenn is, you know, when Iturra plays it wide, his next thought is to make a forward run, whereas the Mexicans seem to just be passing it and standing still, but the Chileans are sort of passing it, and there's a nice pace to their pass, and there's forward movement.
Chile on top then at half-time, but only in terms of chances on goal, it's 0-0. But if it stays this way, both sides make it through to the next stage. Come back for the second half very shortly.
Introducing the new Lumix TZ3 from Panasonic. See it wide. See it close. See it all. With the world's smallest digital camera with 10 times optical zoom and 28mm wide-angle lens. Lumix from Panasonic. Ideas for life.
Come and take a trip in my rocket ship. We'll have a lovely afternoon.
Lacoste Elegance, the new fragrance for men.
And away we fly.
Want to know a great place to find car insurance? Follow me.
This is GoCompare.com. It's a brilliant website which compares prices from loads of insurance companies, so you don't have to.
It's so easy, it'll save you time and could save you a lot of money.
GoCompare.com also give each quote a unique 5-star rating, so you know exactly what you're getting for your money.
So, for the right car insurance for you, just visit GoCompare.com.
Why go compare anywhere else?
Second past 1. Second past 2. Flips it up. Oh, what a goal! Shh. Stephen, you're looking for his second. Takes it on the chest. Oh, he's gone into the samba. The crowd, oh, they're loving it. And now, he's on his hat-trick. He turns. He shoots. No! Headed off the line.
Resident Evil 4, Wii Edition. The nightmare just got real.
With 13 clever storage compartments, you'll find the Nissan Note surprisingly spacious. For offers, visit www.nissan-offers.co.uk.
Use your MasterCard abroad for automatic entry to win a £50,000 trip to any continent.
Foster's Super Chilled. Well, you wouldn't want a warm beer, would you?
Who will you be? Without that cigarette in your hand, you'll never know until you quit. Lose the smoke. Keep the fire. With Nicotinal, a gum as satisfying as the rest of your smoke-free life. Nicotinal gum.
Any time of the day or night, you might feel like a film. So we've made getting a Sky movie even easier. It's as easy as a click. There's over 300 to choose from. Take your pick. With one tiny click, you can open up a world of fantastic film on your PC at no extra cost. It's amazing what you can fit down a broadband connection. For Sky Movies whenever you like, just go to sky.com/anytime. Pick a flick and click.
We are not going under there until he blows the final whistle.
Skybet. It matters more when there's money on it.
Stay with us later. The defending champions are in action. Brazil have won 3 of the last 4 Copa Americas. Their final game in Group B is our late game. It's Brazil-Ecuador. Stay with us here on Sky Sports 1 for that. Our first game of the night is Mexico against Chile, 0-0 at half-time. Chile need a point to progress, to be guaranteed of progressing. Mexico are through. It's all about where they finish for them. 9 changes, gents, in that Mexico side tonight. I suppose because of the fact that Argentina play tomorrow, and whoever finishes top of this group plays the second place from Group C, and it's all about what can happen tonight and tomorrow. It doesn't really matter where Mexico actually finish in some respects. They can't control their own fate. Is that what we're seeing tonight?
I think it's partly that, but I must admit, I would imagine Hugo Sanchez won't be happy with that. But because he's gave an opportunity for players to come in and show what they can do. He's gave them minutes on the pitch. Glenn touched on it earlier. Come later on in the tournament, these guys might have a big part to play, and they should be using this 45 minutes or this 90 minutes to find their feet in the tournament. And they've been very disappointed. We gave them quite a big build-up. They are one of the favourites in behind Argentina and Brazil, but they've just not been at the races for me. I think they've been poor.
They've hardly had a chance on goal, have they?
I don't think they've had a shot on target, have they? And they've found it really hard to get in behind Chile, the defence. And, you'd think these youngsters have been thrown in, you'd think they'd have really wanted to hit the manager in the eye. The manager's finding out stuff about these youngsters, but unfortunately, for 45 minutes, it's on the negative side. Whether he makes a few changes and puts a bit more experience at half-time and puts a more experienced side out there, I don't know. But they've certainly got to improve. They haven't got that much to improve on because they've been poor.
Well, they're through already, of course, Mexico, but may want to solidify their place with 3 points as opposed to the one they've got. It is enough, though, for Chile as it stands a point. That takes them through. So perhaps they're both satisfied at half-time. 0-0 in what's been so far a high-scoring tournament, but since sides have known that they can qualify with less than a win, all of a sudden the goals have dried up, haven't they?
I must admit, my fear would be if there's no goals in the next 15 minutes, we could be looking at a 0-0. But, it'd be nice to see a goal win, and then that might change things.
And this is where the final game in each group not being played simultaneously kind of doesn't stand up, really. It doesn't hold water, does it? It allows all kinds of things to go on behind the scenes, allegedly, of course. Back to Mexico against Chile, 0-0 at half-time. The commentary team, Warren Barton and Ian Dark.
Yes, welcome back. You'll have seen that Mexico have brought on another striker here, Adolfo Bautista, a 28-year-old who scored 9 times for his country in 27 caps, blonde-haired. So he'll be on for the second half. Maybe that's a sign of a more aggressive intent from Mexico. We shall see. Certainly needed. They rather overdid the caution, you felt, in that first half, inviting the Chileans onto them and nearly paying the price for it. Of course, Mexico, just to recap, have already qualified for the quarterfinals. By the way, their coach, Hugo Sanchez, has been saying for years, before he got the job, he'd turn Mexico into a country capable of winning the World Cup. Plays a simple 4-4-2, unlike his predecessor, who used to switch formations with, well, every passing minute, it seems, sometimes.
Well, I think if you go by the first 45 minutes, there's a lot to do, but they've, as I've said before, the 2 games before, they've done all the hard work there. Now it's the younger players and some experienced players as well, is to get football under their belt. Be more adventurous. In Mexico, you want them to go out and entertain us like they've done in the last couple of games, but they've been quite negative.
It's Guardado who's gone off. He has, of course, picked up a yellow card as well, just to confirm that towards the end of the first half. Oh, no goals, but several pounds worth of fireworks going up around the port here. This is a tourist town. Plenty of tourists enjoying the football as well. Medina, who's been switched out to the left-hand side here, making a forward run. Bautista's first involvement here.
He done well, Medina, pushing on that left-hand side. I thought he was very positive. If anyone was going to do something for Mexico, it would have been him. But again, what they're able to do, Chile, is just to snuff it out. The 2 in midfield who screen the back 3, do a very good job.
Bautista again, and well, it was a shove away really, and a yellow card here for the Chilean defender Sebastian Rocco.
He got caught the wrong side, Rocco, by the ball. Got caught ball watching. Before he knows it, the player's inside of him, and he just has to put out a desperate arm to block him off. Knew exactly what he was doing. And by doing that, he knew exactly that he was going to end up in a referee's notebook. He just got caught ball watching and the ball playing inside of him. I think already we've seen Mexico have been a bit more adventurous than they did in the first 45 minutes.
But there's no Morales to take the free kick here. He's one of those being rested. Instead it was Lozano.
There's the arm going across. Knew exactly what he was doing. The ball can get there, but the attacker wasn't going to get there. It's nice.
Bravo was the victim. Dangerous guy to take on. He used to be an amateur boxer in his youth. Omar Bravo. It's like he didn't get a left hook in return there.
Doesn't look happy, does he, Sanchez? He has been positive. He's put another striker on, as you said, or another forward player. But you just expect so much more from Mexico. And you know they can do better.
At what point, I wonder, did Chile start to take a slightly more conservative view of things in defence of the point that they know takes them into the last 8?
I think they'll give it another 15 minutes, and if not, it will be keep what we've got. And to be honest with you, they've not been put under too much pressure.
Teo, who took the eye in the first half, the player who won league and cup medals in his time in Portugal with Sporting Lisbon.
Well, you can tell he's got that little bit of aggression, that little bit of drive and desire to get forward. You can see as well that he's got a sweet left foot.
Fierro doing well for Chile. Lorca. All of these players looking very comfortable in possession.
Yeah, you'd expect it as well, the technique, and also they're not being put under pressure. You know, they're not being closing down with any pace or purpose, so it allows them time. Their ability is good, and their technique is good, but they're not really being hustled or put under too much pressure when they get the ball. But they're always great to watch, you know, the first touch of the ball's played out to them. They're always comfortable with the ball, going back to when they've been taught as kids, possibly.
Bravo, under pressure from Fuentes over there. Looked like it came off the Chilean last.
At least there's a bit of movement up front. Bravo's running the channels a little bit, working hard, trying to stretch the three Chilean centre-halves around. In the first half, he was very static.
Castro helps it on towards Blanco, who likes to play in that deep position. Lozano.
Referee has seen an infringement there, just a little nudge in the back.
More aggressive intent, and Medina seeing a bit more of the ball on this left-hand side. He's trying to break in again here. Rocco scrambles it away.
And Medina was on that right-hand side. He was very positive trying to get forward. Again, because he's on that left-hand side, he's always looking to come inside onto his favourite right foot.
Here's the old man of the party, Blanco. If you're old at 34, you're not really. It's a miscue, Medina. Mistake by Fierro there, and he's very relieved to see that go behind.
Well, they were talking about his weaker foot. On his right foot, he'd be able to whip it round, but not particularly very comfortable with his left foot.
Goalkeeper, I think it was going wide anyway.
Wrong option there for me. Could have just played his teammates in. Decided to take the shot early, but very comfortable for the goalkeeper.
Loose ball in midfield allows Rodrigo Teo to pick it up. Now here's Lorca. The predatory Suazo waiting in the middle. And here he is. And he got his effort in as well. And the goalkeeper was going one way, had to twist back the other to make the save there.
Done very well as well. It's a great ball played in. I think him possibly come off his shoulder rather than his head. There it was, just his shoulder, but comfortable in the end. Just tells you one ball played in now. Got an opportunity, but it's comfortable. Maybe the pace took out the collision with his shoulder there. If it was his head, he can get a bit more power onto the ball.
Good move, though, by Chile.
Again, they're always the ones that have really got that final product in the last third.
Suazo again, showing he can play outside the penalty area. Here he is again. I suppose if European coaches were looking in, maybe they'd say he is carrying a kilo or two too many.
I would think so. I think his physical condition he could work on, but he has got strength, he has got stature in his game. And as you've said, he's off to Mexico to play his football.
Well, that's the word. I don't know that for certain, but that's what we're told anyway.
I normally take your word for granted as well. You're normally never wrong in my eyes.
I'm very flattered. I can assure you I am. Oof. It was a nasty knock, and you felt it for there. Poor Iturra.
He's just left his foot there, hasn't he?
It's Contreras, wasn't it, in fact? And yellow card. Bravo.
Again, I think in the Premiership you get away with maybe tackles like that, but in the continent or in world football, the raise of the foot, Bravo ends up in the notebook. And Bravo ends up in the notebook. Now Bravo's taken a free kick.
There's a lot of them about.
Is that the equivalent to Smith and Jones?
Well, could be. Here is Omar Bravo. It takes a deflection off Fuentes. It could have gone anywhere, including his own net. It didn't.
There has been a lot more movement for Mexico as well, particularly Bravo up front. He's trying to work in them channels. With the three centre-halves maybe pinning himself against the outside player. Again, they're looking to get the balls in. A few choice words from the manager at half-time.
Blanco with the corner for the Mexicans. It was one they'd worked on the training ground, but not quite hard enough by the look of it.
No, as I said, he's got much more time. Clever play there by Blanco, just pulling it out wide, but again, have a bit more care, have a bit more desire about your ball.
Bautista overhitting it. But Chile coming under a bit more pressure, maybe significantly. And of course, watching this game with great interest and hoping that they just might find a way back into the tournament are the USA and Colombia. But the fact is, Chile could lose this game and still make it as one of the best third places, because the USA's goal difference is -5, Colombia's is -7, and Chile's is -2.
To be fair to the people that have organised the tournament, we've knocked them for the way they've done their last game with the times, but at least with the third place, it still keeps the group stages alive. You know, looking around, there's always a little twist and turn. Yes, they have got it wrong with the games being played at different times, but in general, when you look, third team can get through.
Well, the only side we know absolutely for certain who aren't going to make it through are Bolivia so far. Bottom of Group A. Magayan doing his usual uncomplicated job at the back for Mexico. Castro. Mexican players, you were saying, Warren, we were chatting at half-time, they're pretty well paid, aren't they, in their league?
Yeah, I was interested with, obviously, people in the studio, Glenn and Gary, just saying, you know, why do they not move on? And I think one of them is because they don't have to leave their own country, because they do get well paid. And they're able to attract, the money is there for them to stay there, so the reason why do they need to leave? Maybe the league's not as strong as it is in Europe, but financially they get paid very well. As we know, in modern-day footballers, that's what sometimes they're interested about.
Country which has twice staged the World Cup finals. 1970, a memorable tournament, the great Brazilian side, and then again in 1986, Diego Maradona and all that.
Again, they're a very wealthy country and they're very passionate about their football as well, so you can be paid well and treated very well.
Lozano trying to play that in towards Bautista.
Bautista's not actually been able to get into the game. He's trying to drop a little bit deeper as well.
Correa showing his displeasure. The referee does not want to have a federal debate about it with him, though.
Correa does well, centre midfield as well, just breaks things up. This new position that everybody's looking at, this holding midfield player, like Makaleli, that type of position where you just screen in there and just pick up the pieces, become quite fashionable now.
Correa plays for a club called Pachuca, who've surprised everybody in Mexico by winning 3 different championships. They've been hitting the headlines in a big way. Just a bit more pep about Mexico in this second half. Not quite sure what Hugo Sanchez said at half-time to them.
I would imagine it's go out and give me a lot more than you've just shown me.
Suazo feeding it inside. Lorca tries to make a way through. Was that inside the box? And was it a penalty kick? No, it wasn't. The answer was no and no.
I think he got it right, the referee. I think his first touch was poor, which allowed him then just to try and, if you like, buy the free kick.
Here's Medina at the other end. Oh, and it was a real chance there. It just needed a touch. It didn't quite get it. Otherwise, Mexico were ahead.
No, for me, he's already going down there. That's the Chilean player going down. He's lost control of the ball, touching it away. The manager's furious, but I think when he looks at it second time round here, no. But again, it just shows you end to end. Mexico, when they do put a little bit of pace, quality, his team could have been 1-0 down.
Well, the draw that suits both sides is still the way of things here, but it need not necessarily have been like that.
No, it is getting a bit
all.
more open. There's a few more chances. I think the players are thinking, well, we can have a go. Maybe in the last 15 minutes they may sit back and, as I said, start resting their legs, but it's been 1 or 2 openings. Just a little bit more care or belief that they're going to get the ball.
It's Castro. Correa's little ball forward. Castro again. Dangerous bounce. Goalkeeper quickly off his line. Clears it all up.
Here, his first touch is heavy. He's never going to get the ball. There's another defender there. Not for me. He wants it. His staff want it.
Nasty moment for the Mexicans. Suazo's trying to get in there. Rodriguez got an important foot to the ball for Mexico, who are playing virtually their reserve side here. It should be stressed. Mind you, the Chileans are pretty depleted as well from their normal first choice lineup. Peñatura from long way out.
Doesn't mind having a shot, Latour. But every time it's been very, very comfortable for the goalkeeper. Straight down the middle, the goalkeeping practice.
Interesting system where they just use those two players in front of the defence. It's Castro and then Villanueva a little bit further forward. A lot of red shirts back there.
What they do as well with the two in there and the three centre-halves, they're actually inviting you to go wide. There's nothing through the middle, so you've got to go wide. You've got to then, at the opposition, get your fullbacks onto the ball, make the pitch as wide as possible, because it's going to be very, very difficult to get through the middle of the Chilean defence and midfield. And where Mexico did have their best choice, when they passed it quicker as well.
I think you're right, though. I think Hugo Sanchez did say to them at half-time, look, we can do a bit better than this.
Well, they had to. I mean, the performance was poor. The fan base that they brought is excellent. And I think for just personal pride, and because just to keep the momentum going, because they have got this feel-good factor, you know, when football's a strange game, you know, you can maybe get beat or have a bad performance, and then a little bit of confidence starts draining at you as a squad of players. But if you're getting nice and positive and keeping the ball moving, and even if you draw the game, but at least there's a bit of tempo about the game, you can still have that feel-good factor. But when you maybe get a 1-0 defeat or a very dull 0-0, it's not that nice feeling.
I'm just wondering whether the Mexicans might be tempted to give Nery Castillo a few minutes towards the end, even though he is on the yellow card.
No, I think a manager, you have to put your manager's hat on and just say, look, no, we need you. It's more important, obviously, than this game. You haven't got to entertain anybody in this game. You just got to get through it.
Quite nice if they entertained us in this game as well, though.
Well, they've done it. Their answer would say, well, they've done it in the first two games.
Yeah.
We've done our bit now.
Yeah,
let someone else have a go.
Yeah, beating Brazil wasn't too bad, was it? Blanco helps it forward. Medina, great run. And good defending as well. Just about managed to nick that away in the nick of time here at Fuentes.
Yeah, good defending. Didn't go to ground. Pace of the ball just held up for him as well to give him that opportunity just to slow it down. There are just signs now that Mexico can believe that if they just step the tempo up again, they've got enough to break the deadlock. I think with Chile, they've probably given us the best they've got. Well, you know, with Mexico, there's a lot more to offer.
Villanueva, nice run. Sanhuesa from distance, a bit too far as it turns out. Came down with snow on it, even in this climate, I think, from Blanco.
Good technique as well, though, wasn't it? Nice and comfortable when it did come out of the air.
Bautista was guessing, really. Nothing doing there.
No, he's found it difficult to get into the, I'm going to say pace of the game, but even the control of the game.
Looks like he could have been singing at that concert for Diana, doesn't it, where that hairstyle is sporting today. Teo, who's come closer than anybody else to opening the scoring here. And Rodriguez with a rather heavier touch than I suspect he wanted.
Rodriguez, the big leggy centre-half, just giving his manager a couple of concerns. He did it in the first half with his backward header, give away a cheap corner. It's obviously a concentration is something that he lacks.
Lorca. Hustled out of it by Correa, but getting the corner kick anyway. That'll suit Chile, no problem.
And another test for the young goalkeeper.
Teo to take. Not a great one. And the rising drive from Sanhuesa, who's the skipper tonight, the stand-in captain even from his holding midfield role. Doesn't have too many cracks on goal, but that one rather invited the opportunity.
Yeah, no real conviction. He just took the offer up.
Now then, Suazo. Magayon. Cool as you like.
Just couldn't get out of his feet, could he? Suazo just trying to bring someone else into the game, but just got it stuck underneath his feet.
Bravo. Lozano on his left foot. Just needed a little touch. Bautista might have applied it.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad effort. More intelligent play rather than going for power. Just trying to put it into an area, hoping that one of the attackers get a touch. But look how much the game's got stretched now.
Sanhuesa. Haven't had a goal, but we could have done. Suazo, the most likely perhaps to provide one for Chile. Villanueva, he can hit them, but not accurately enough, as it turns out.
Yeah, open up for him. Decent first touch, but again, you've got to get it on target to give yourself any chance. We've seen lots of power, but no real accuracy as well in the strike.
It's only his sixth cap, Villanueva. You get the feeling he'll win plenty more. First goal for his country in this tournament against Ecuador, and a winning goal too. One he'll remember as long as he lives. Medina. It's been a box of tricks. Did that come off a Chilean head last, or was there a push as it came across?
I think there was just a little nudge in the back. Medina on that left-hand side, very industrious, always going to come back onto his favoured right foot, but there you can just see climbing all over the defender. He's refereed the game in his style, in his manner. He was a bit concerned early on, thinking that it was going to be too picky, but he hasn't, to be honest with you, had too much to worry about.
Paraguayan referee Villanueva's coming off and will be replaced in midfield by a very, very talented player, Matias Fernandez, who's been carrying an injury, a muscle injury, in recent days. That's why he didn't play in the game against Brazil, but I think he's quite a special talent. They're very excited about him in Chile. He's only 21 and he plays for Villarreal in La Liga, alongside the likes of Robert Pires and, well, Diego Forlan, although he's signed for Atletico Madrid in the last few days. He's the reigning South American Footballer of the Year, Fernandez. Could he be a match winner? There's his first touch. Pretty classy in the game against Ecuador, first game of the tournament. I think that's a change that certainly won't weaken Chile, put it that
definitely.
way.
He's obviously got a point to prove as well. Young player.
Midfield player, I was going to say, Warren, 10 caps, 3 goals already.
No, good ratio, isn't it, as well? You can tell with the Chilean players, if they do show any quality or any ability, they do move on. Maybe their domestic league is not as strong as what maybe Mexico is, so when they get their chance, they go off and challenge themselves in a different league.
Lorca got the head on. Magayon with the header away. Lorca, Chile making a pretty pleasing impression, suggesting as their fans feel that they might be on the way up again in South American football. That was Fernandez trying to find a way through. Here he is again, Fernandez. Oh, he nearly found Suazo. Once more, Matias Fernandez.
Got good balance, hasn't he, already, you can tell.
Mexicans know all about him. everybody in the tournament knows about him. Not suggesting he's the new Diego Maradona or something like that, but he's certainly been taking the eye as a youngster. Here's a veteran, Blanco. Bautista. Nobody that deep.
I think what Chile have done now, they've rode the first 20 minutes or so, a little bit of pressure that they come under, and now they're the team that are on the ascendant a little bit.
Bautista again into Blanco. Correa. Medina and Lozano combining quite well down that left-hand side. Pineda. Patient build-up from the Mexicans until Blanco was muscled out of it. How quickly can Chile break? Well, they can't.
That's where they've got to do better, because Mexico there were just keeping the ball, playing the game at their own pace, like he likes to do. When they do get the ball, they've got to really treasure it and keep hold of it.
Lozano. Well, it was whistling, and you just wondered if the net was going to bulge from this angle. It might have been a bit further wide than it looked from where we were.
He's had 2 efforts, hasn't he, in the last probably 10 minutes, pushing on. Really tested Bravo in goal for Chile, but trying to get forward, trying to exploit the space.
And it looks like Omar Bravo is going to be replaced here by Luis Angel Landin, who plays for Morelia, winning only his 2nd cap. Landin was just 21, striker. By the way, that guy who just had the effort, the left-back Lozano, has already got 12 goals in 27 caps for Mexico.
It's not bad at all, is it? That just shows you he has got an eye for goal.
Yeah, must have.
Maybe 3rd time lucky.
Disappointing cross, really.
That's where they've let me down a little bit, Mexico. They've been very neat and tidy, and good passing, good technique, but just in that final third, when you expect them to have quality, which they have got, but they haven't showed it this evening.
Stays like this, it could be that Mexico will top this group, and if results go to form tomorrow, would play Paraguay, who I reckon might end up 2nd in Group C behind the Argentinians. You think so anyway? And Chile would then go through as one of the best 3rd places, and would probably be up against the host Venezuela.
I think both teams will look at that and say, well, it's not the worst scenario. They've both been able to keep away from, if you like, the big 2 nations, Brazil and Argentina. Everybody else wants to keep away from them. And Mexico look and say, well, you know, we don't mind who we play other than them 2. Okay, the home nation have got the fan base behind them, but I'm sure Chile on their day will say, well, we can give them a game.
Lozano looking for the 1-2, loves to come forward from the back, as we've seen already. Surely the shirt of Fernandez was being tugged there, and it's going to be a yellow card for Pineda. Looks like another switch being made here. Off comes Lorca. Just wondering who Chile might be bringing on here. Looks like Marc Gonzalez, possibly. Yep. Latterly of Liverpool, but we're told on his way to Real Betis in Spain. Gonzalez was pretty bright in the first half against Brazil, where he was deployed in a rather more central role than One has often seen him at Anfield. Made forward for Sanhuesa to try and help it on. It's Fernandez again, trying to be the catalyst for Chile. Getting himself in a bit of a tangle there, in all honesty. Gonzalez is able to pick it up and, well, looking to bend it towards the top corner. Itura.
He's not fighting to have an effort. You can see what he's trying to do there, just trying to guide it into that far corner, but got underneath the ball and too straight onto it as well. Not going to trouble anyone with that effort.
Coming up next in this group, Brazil against Ecuador. If it stays like this in this match, Brazil do need to get at least a point from that game. Ecuador are bottom of the group and have got to go for it a bit, which might make it a bit more interesting.
And also I think it's in Brazil's nature. I don't think they've got any cautious streak inside. They just want to go out and play football, where possibly Mexico and Chile have had to be more the underdogs when they ever play. So they are quite happy to sit back and hold on to something. Where Brazil want to go out, they want to entertain. It's, as I said, it's part of their culture.
12 minutes remaining here. Getting to the point where the coaches could, well, be excused for taking the pragmatic view of things. I think they can probably look the press guys in the eye afterwards and say that, well, they did give it a go. It wasn't a convenient carve-up. Suazo, and we still might get a goal as well. Of course, everyone will look at the result and say, But the evidence suggests otherwise.
Particularly
I think,
second half.
Yeah.
I think with Mexico, first half they was very negative. There's a little bit of contact there as well. Suarez just putting his arm out. But I just think in general, Mexico, after Sanchez has probably had a word at half-time, they have been a little bit more positive. But again, the bigger picture, when you look at a nation, you want to qualify, you want to get into the next round. And if that means in your final game taking it easy and getting a draw, then so be it. The most important thing is getting through.
Who knows, maybe Mexico, when they've got everybody back, will be good enough to reach the final again. I mentioned they reached the final in 2001. They did also do it in 1993, losing to Argentina. Here's Gonzalez taking on Castro.
He had the opportunity, once he'd gone past Castro, to whip it in Gonzalez. Again, he wanted to check back.
Suazo to turn into space. Thought for a moment he might have been in business as well. Blanco. Lozano. Medina took it out the air nicely, but was carefully policed by Fierro.
Done well for Ferreira as well, hasn't he? Been booked earlier on. Right back.
Don't think he's committed another foul, has he?
He's not had to, has he?
Den. Another change here. Off comes Pineda, who has been yellow carded. And on comes Arce, who's been part of the normal starting lineup. Fernando Arce.
I think you're going to expect it now, the last probably 9-8 minutes of a stop-start. Anyone gets away, they're going to get ball down. Can have the free kick, can't score from there.
Rodrigo Teo forward to Juan Gonzalez, who spent most of his childhood in South Africa, speaks perfect English, grew up in Durban. Gonzalez.
He's found it a little bit difficult in the Premiership as well, maybe the physical side of the game.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say the move to Liverpool didn't quite work out for him. Looks like he's off to Spain now.
You can turn around and say he's had Champions League finals. Is that a disappointment? But he's not really been part of the main squad.
Medina. Defending good enough. No way through for Arce over there. Arce, who's from the border town of Tijuana of taxi fame. If you know the old song, you probably don't.
I know I look old, but I'm not that old. You
but
have it, I'll sing
I
it.
am. You didn't want to say that, did you? Now they keep playing it even today, I think. Here's Lozano. Fuentes. Magayon. Now Castro. Magayon again. Arce to Bautista. Short back left over the bar.
He was scrambling the goalkeeper as well, wasn't he? Manager there just had his heart in his mouth for a split second. Had to get the ball out of his feet. Again, goalkeeper wasn't sure to dive across, but not on target. That's been the biggest disappointment as well. Been lots of efforts, but none of them really on target.
Be tough on Chile, possibly, if they didn't get their point from this at this late stage.
Yeah, I think overall they've done enough to at least get a point. They have had better opportunities, maybe a better touch when they're going through, or a little bit more quality and belief when they've had a strike. But I think overall, it's the Mexicans that will be slightly disappointed. But knowing inside as a player that they can play better.
But not too disappointed, top of the group.
Of course.
Not too bad, is it?
Of course, when you just analyse this game, but the bigger picture, as I said, they've managed to come here unscathed. No injuries, no bookings. So they've got a full squad of players who's had some experience as well.
Yeah, it's largely job done, isn't it, from their point of view? I mean, they made this great start against the Brazilians. Landin. Players pulled back for a free kick for Chile here. It's quite imposing, isn't he? The referee manhandling the players there. Amarillo, the referee.
A little nudge out the way there, and he's just let everybody know that he's in charge, the referee. I think I've seen him smile yet, so.
Inside the last 5 minutes here now. Don't think you can draw any conclusions at all about Mexico tonight. I think they've got far more to offer when they've got their full-strength side out.
That would be one of the suggestions, is that they are a much better team than we've seen. We have seen glimpses as well, particularly that fellow on the ball there. It's been nice and positive, good understanding.
Lozano. It's away by Teo. He's made a bit of a case possibly for inclusion in the quarter-final. A reserve player coming in tonight. Looks steady in that left-back role. Trying to work something here. Bautista. Landin was waiting for it, didn't get it.
They're just trying to flick it around the corner, but again, he's got to be stronger. He's got to impose himself into the game, the substitute. Far too easy. He's giving the ball away a bit cheaply.
Chile, who when they played Brazil the other night, found they were almost playing against Robinho, who just turned on a dazzling display and got the hat-trick, rather put the gloss on a quite ordinary Brazilian performance. They'll look to be doing a lot better tonight, I would say. catch that one after this, remember, their game against Ecuador.
That's what the Brazilian players can do, or the Argentinian players. There's contact there as well.
Yeah, cramp, I think, as well, when he went down.
I think, yeah, as you said, he's just stretching out there and just holding the back of his hamstring. He has tried to get forward. Just going back to the Brazilians, they've had someone that can change a game. And when you look tonight with Mexico leaving certain players out, they haven't had that player who's got a little bit of spark.
Maybe that player with that bit of spark, Nery Castillo, will do it for them in the quarterfinals. Looks like they'll be in action in Maturin, because Brazil cannot top this group if this scoreline stays like this. Mexico will be leading the group. Of course, what really go wrong for Mexico is if Paraguay-Argentina ends up as a draw tomorrow and the Mexicans have to face Argentina. That possibility does exist. Well, I guess you'd have to fancy Argentina on all known form in this tournament to triumph against Paraguay.
Again, whatever the manager decides if he leaves players out. But I just think with Argentina, not so much Brazil, but they've got more quality in their squad of players. So if they do manage to drop one or two key players, they've got another international players that can come in, where a lot of these nations haven't. They've got a strong, possibly 11, 12, 13 players, but not the 22, 23 players that you're going to need.
Almost just running the clock down now, you feel. Maybe both sides. Maybe. Unless, of course, Mexico have other ideas here with Blanco.
Done the first bit correct. Maybe a little bit too clever for his own good.
There will be 2 minutes of added time, we learn.
So probably both nations started off saying they wanted to be qualified, they wanted to get through. They've done this. This has been disappointing, but they're through. They're kept away from the bigger boys.
Free kick. That'll suit Chile. Certainly more than the odd eye glanced at the clock now, you sense.
So I can't see this going into the penalty area. It's a pity, it's a shame.
You feel that this result just about closes the door on the United States and Colombia, who are pointless so far and meet tomorrow night. Can't really see a way for them to find their way as one of the two best third places.
No, all they're playing for is pride. You know, two big nations there as well. Have been disappointed. They've got young squads as well.
Marc Gonzalez. Crowd have remained boisterous and lively. We've had firecrackers, a fantastic setting here at Puerto La Cruz, but no goals tonight. Correa. Chile maybe should have had one or two in the first half.
I think that's what you needed to happen. You needed Chile to get a go, and then that brings Mexico on to show it. But in the end, they've been quite happy just to see out this game. No injuries, no bookings to carry into the next games. So quite happy.
Played into the danger zone, and Teo had to get his head to that. If there is some kind of late agreement here, don't hurt us, we won't hurt you. Nobody had mentioned that to Medina, who put in a very dangerous ball there.
He's put a few in as well, Medina, with his right foot coming inside. Again, good defensive header. He's come out with a bit of credit as well, the left back.
Still could be a sting in the tail. Here's a corner kick for the Mexicans. Bautista rather missed his kick on the near post. Chile get it away, and you think that might just about be that, because we were told 2 minutes of added time. And the Paraguayan referee blows the whistle, and it means no goals, but that Mexico will top this group and that Chile have definitely qualified for the quarter-finals. Scoreline here, 0-0.
0-0, happy all round, both go through. Mexico, top the group, that won't change, 7 points. Unbeaten in their opening 3 games. Chile qualified, they're second. Brazil next in action, of course, against Ecuador. They are guaranteed to go through, Chile, no matter what happens, but Brazil, of course, can leapfrog them and finish the group second, and therefore, in theory, have a better route to the final from here, but it doesn't always work out like that. Stay with us then for the champions. Brazil, they're next in action against Ecuador. They need a point to qualify, Brazil. They do need to draw this game to get through. Sky Sports 1, of course, stay with us for that. Tomorrow, it's into Group C again. Colombia against the States, and Argentina, the favourites, against Paraguay. 11 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 for that. Glenn Hoddle and Gary McAllister are here with us in the studio. We'll get their opinions on that game and look forward to Brazil in just a moment. Yes, the champions in action. They've won 3 of the last 4 Copa Americas. They're coming up in just a moment. First, we'll look back on the latest Chilean performance and Mexico. What will they produce in the next round? And can Brazil get there? They still have work to do. They're up against Ecuador, and it's next.
Sky Movies premiere, brought to you by Panasonic.
Starting Saturday for 7 days. Life's full of minor irritations, but finding a new movie needn't be one of them. Good night, good luck, Poseidon and The Weatherman. All part of Sky Movies Premier's first run films.
Have you checked your facts?
Yeah. All these great movies all in one place. Starts Saturday for 7 days on Sky Movies Premier.
You think you look the business. She thinks you look overworked. React.
An innovation from L'Oreal Men Expert. Hydra Energetic Anti-Fatigue Moisturizer. Hydrates and recharges your skin for a lasting, healthy look. Hydra Energetic from L'Oreal Men Expert. Expert technology for every man's skin.
Say you had a box, 78 feet long, 36 feet wide. What would you do in that box? Something new? Something different? Would you make history? If the whole world was watching, how would you stand out on your playing field?
The FBI estimates that there are less than 50 serial killers active in the United States today. Sometimes I wonder what it's like for the others.
My name's Dexter. I'm a serial killer. Nice to meet you.
You better be a cop. No, forensics. I find the killers the cops can't catch.
Mary, full of grace, the Lord.
Stop! That never helps anybody. Which is why if I'm looking for you, you better hope they get to you first.
Dexter, The Killer new series, only on FX.
There you go.
At MFI, there's everything from kitchens, bedrooms and bathrooms to dining rooms and sofas, so you'll feel right at home.
Is technology the enemy of nature?
Some people think it's
Is greatness a matter of size? Do you need vast spaces to feel safe? Do you need 2 liters of fuel to get 1 liter of milk? Isn't it easier to stop asking questions? Yes, but we won't, because we care.